Yes.
So where are you?
Paradise.
In Paradise? And where's Paradise?
Grenada.
Sandals,
La
Resort,
Source, Grenada.
Grenada. It's Paradise.
Walking alone, the streets are empty.
Grenada 2018 The Return. Our holiday vlog starts on Saturday the 13th of October 2018 in my temporary seat 12A on board a British Airways 777 descending towards Grenada International Airport. For those of you who want to follow Fiona and I as we make the trip from London Gatwick to Grenada via St Lucia, please look back 3 or 4 videos and you will get a full trip report. And of course our first view came of Sandals Resort Grenada, just over 100 metres off the left wing as we touched down.
We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
And with only a 5-minute commute from the airport to Sandals, Fiona and I could nearly taste our first cocktails.
Up in the sky, I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around.
Straight after check-in, Fiona and I were off to room 8106, the room that we would occupy for less than 24 hours.
Tonight, we will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah, we are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
And our priority before unpacking was to fetch those first 2 Bob Marley cocktails, followed shortly after by more champagne, beer and dinner at the Italian.
It's Sunday. What day is it?
14.
It's Sunday the
October.
14th of October 2018 and
Living the dream.
where?
The Sandals, La Source, Grenada.
Sandals Resort Grenada. Keep living the dream in 2018. What's left of it?
On Sunday morning, as we did every morning at Sandals Resort Grenada, we started breakfast at the Italian restaurant. And then we worked off breakfast by a walk on the beach, followed by the pier, where we refamiliarised ourselves with the resort that we fell in love with 1 year ago in October 2017.
We're running out of time. So if we're true, this
And as you can see, it was an extremely long walk from room 8106 to the South Seas Hideaway Pool. And after a few hours mandatory sunbathing, it was time to head for lunch. And on our first full day at Sandals, that could only mean one place: Neptune's. And after lunch, en route back to the room, it would have been rude to pass the pool bar without indulging on some more Bob Marley cocktails. And a massive shout out to Melissa from Sandals Guest Services for moving us to the room that we really wanted all along, 8109, right opposite the South Seas Hideaway swimming pool. And if you'd like a more detailed tour of this room and 5 others at this awesome resort, please check out part 5 in this video series, Resort and Room Tours. And as the sun began to set on our first full day at Sandals, Grenada in October 2018, Fiona and I headed to the swim-up pool bar. And as our first evening grew to a close, Fiona and I celebrated Liv'n with another glass of champagne, followed by dinner at the fantastic, the incredible French restaurant, which I have to admit serves the best French onion soup. And to work off dinner, Fiona and Donna went dancing at the living room. After breakfast on Monday, Fiona and I headed back to the South Seas Hideaway Pool to catch up with some vitamin D. And for lunch, Monday was pizza, washed down with lots of beer and wine at the poolside swim-up bar. And after lunch, we joined Donna and Michael and another English couple to have a look at 3 premium rooms at this fantastic resort. And you can check these out in more detail by going back 2 videos and checking out my Sandals Grenada resort and room tour. And after all that walking, it was time to head to the swim-up bar for some well-earned refreshments. And as the sun set, we enjoyed cocktails in the jacuzzi before Fiona and I headed off to get ready for our evening in Butch's.
There is something in the air, like I have to go nowhere. If someone ever asks me.
On Tuesday morning, you'd have found Fiona and I at the South Seas Hideaway Infinity Pool, where we were joined by our new friend for the day.
They're always wondering why is a waste of time.
He, or even she, certainly made themselves very comfortable with Fiona.
In my heart I still feel fire.
And where did we go for lunch on Tuesday? Yep, you guessed it, Neptune's by the Pink Gin Beach.
Takes so long. Why it takes so long? Why it takes so long? Why it takes so long?
During our 2017 visit to Sandals, Grenada, the weather had been so bad most of the week that Fiona and I had never managed to sail one of their hobby cats. Well, in 2018, we managed to do it. However, I'm not sure the water sports team at Sandals were really that impressed by my sailing. In fact, they ended up sending Jamil out to help us, or actually give us some really cool tuition. It was well worth it.
I'm trying to figure why. In my heart I still feel fire. Anything that has been done to fix it.
So what's your name?
Jamil.
Daniel.
Jamil. Jamil.
Jamil.
Yeah, Jamil.
Okay.
Why it takes so long. Why it takes.
It was fantastic to have Jamil on board. Not only did he give Fiona and I some really cool tips, he pointed out some of the must-see sights on the southeast side of Grenada. And after a couple of hours on a hobby cat, it was time to walk along the beach and see if we could find Michael and Donna, which of course we did. And as everybody knows at Sandals Resorts Grenada, Tuesday night is the comeback dinner. And as you can see, Fiona got all dressed up for the champagne reception and the usual corporate speeches. However, Fiona, Donna, Michael and I escaped the comeback dinner and headed to Neptune's instead. And a complete Tuesday night, you would have found us at the Tipsy Turtle having a nightcap or three. On Wednesday morning, we had planned to charter a yacht on the east coast of Grenada, but the weather had been looking pretty iffy. We weren't sure if it was going to happen or not. So after breakfast at our usual place, the Italian restaurant, I caught up with some video editing while Fiona read her Kindle. So after some hourly checks with Clive Lawrence at the St George Marina, we agreed that the weather was actually starting to brighten up and the sailing would go ahead. So at 12:30 we were collected by taxi and driven the 30 minutes to St George's and the marina, where we boarded the Lone Star. And joined by Michael and Donna, we had a fantastic afternoon sailing. So much so that I've created a completely separate video. So if you'd like to see the afternoon that Donna, Michael, Fiona and I went sailing on the east coast of Grenada, just look back one video. And here we are back at the BBC Beach, which featured a lot during Pilot Your Own Boat, a series that I produced from Grenada 2017. After a fantastic afternoon of sailing, we ended up back at the resort and the Tipsy Turtle for dinner. And of course, a few more drinks.
So what are you doing today, Mike?
Drowning. Drowning in the rain.
I feel so lost.
On Thursday it rained, and boy did it rain pretty well all day. However, we were at Sandals Resorts Grenada, and that meant there was lots that we could still get up to. And for Michael and I, that meant snorkeling in the rain.
Leaving me waiting all this time.
The Sandals launch anchored up and dropped us off at one of their usual snorkeling locations, where we began to explore the reef and the underwater wildlife only a few metres off the Grenada coast.
Here with me instead. Now I'm so faded. Hoping that you'll come back around. You got me waiting. Waiting's got me feeling so down. I can't control my heart. And it's you that has it falling apart. I can't keep chasing. Cause my feelings keep on spinning around. You got me fading.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. We probably shouldn't try and feed the GoPro to a conger eel. In fact, this big guy was one of 3 conger eels we came across during our snorkeling trip that wet Thursday morning. And here comes conger eel number 2. However, I think this guy was even less impressed by the GoPro than the one previously.
You've left me. All the scars you've left behind.
And here we go, disturbing the sleep of our 3rd eel of the day.
I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna stop this, so I'm always gonna chase my heart. Even when it gets too dark, and I never wanna see this break. Even if it's a mistake, always hoping that you'll go come back and stay. But I'm starting to lose hope, cause you won't pick up your phone. And I'm trying to save this on my own. And I'm feeling so alone, starting to set itself in stone.
And soon it was time for all of us to head back to the boat.
Enjoy it.
I think this was too tight. I was going about 3 or 4 up pace higher.
Hoping that you'll come back around. Got me waiting.
After heading back to the room for a hot shower, it was time to catch up with Fiona, umbrella in hand, and head to Paris Cafe for a well-earned coffee and a crepe. And after coffee, what else is there to do on a wet day but head to the pool bar to top up our alcohol levels and, yep, order some pizza at the same time.
So what do you have?
Pizza.
What sort of pizza?
Hawaiian with a bit of pepperoni.
Hawaiian with a bit of pepperoni.
Pepperoni cake.
What have you got?
Florentina.
Caribbean pizza. Can't remember the actual name.
Despite the iffy weather, the afternoon sightseeing tour by boat was still on. So at 3 PM it was time for Fiona and I to head back to the Water Sports Centre to catch up with Donna and Michael and see where the fantastic Sandals Resorts Grenada water sports team were going to take us that Thursday afternoon.
My journey has been lonely. I've been in places I couldn't abide. Now I'm calling someone to tell me which way I should find. I've been on the edge such a long time, defying what they decide for my own life. Oh, show me, only show me who I am inside. You want me, now you want me, here by your side. I've waited for this moment. Oh,
So as you can see, we've basically headed up the west coast of Grenada to the capital city, St. George's, to have a look around the harbour.
Something that will show me how to play the game. Casting night right here, I wanna say, making me forget. Making me forget. Making me forget. Casting that you're making me forget. Casting that you're making me forget. Dance like that you're making me forget. Casting that you're making me forget. I was scared, I look for glory but I hit the ground. Unaware, my whole body was waiting to be found. I don't remember why I was so far. I'm finding out who I am to heal these scars. Oh, show me.
And as you can see, the super yacht Venus, which belonged to the late Steve Jobs, was still in the marina.
Keep by your side.
And as we left the safety of St. George's Harbour, we went southbound along the west coast of Grenada, heading back in the direction of Sandals resource.
In this place there's something I should understand. Something that will show me how to play the game. Casting light right here, I wanna say, making me forget.
And as daytime turned into nighttime, Fiona and I prepared to head back to the French restaurant for our second and last visit this week.
Making me forget. Casting that you're making me forget. Casting that you're making me forget. Dance like that.
Woohoo! The sun was shining on Friday morning, so that meant one thing: get breakfast done as quickly as possible at the Italian, and then straight to the South Seas Hideaway pool for some sunbathing.
Let's take a trip across the sea, somewhere far away, and just be free.
However, the sun on Friday, our last day, didn't last long, so I was able to partake in one of my other passions and something that is pretty unique: the Sandals Resource Grenada, plane spotting. However, if plane spotting isn't your thing, there's always the Friday afternoon foam party. I have to admit, I think Sandals has lost the plot introducing foam parties, but who am I to judge?
You'll hear my hand, fall asleep to the waves crash.
So with rush hour over at the local airport and the 3 aircraft well on their way to their destinations, and the foam party not really being our thing, it was time to do some more snorkeling. And we're still living the dream in 2018. And this is where I must tell you that it was Michael that took this underwater footage. I really struggled to breathe with Donna's octopus snorkel mask. And add this to the strong currents just off the seawall at Sandals Resource Grenada, and I left it to Michael with the correct equipment.
Bottle of champagne to ourselves. Drink all we won't forget about everything else. And I want to remember this moment for life, yeah. That look you gave me was staring in my eyes. And I'm never gonna let this go.
and after the snorkeling, the four of us headed back to Neptune's for some well-earned cocktails, which led Fiona and I to champagne in the room before heading out to our last meal at Sandals Grenada in 2018, and of course Butch's, our favourite restaurant.
Under the moonlight, feet in the stand. Your hand, my hand. Before I say to the waist, wake up and do it again.
And paradise is there to be taken. We got it grinding, waiting for vacation. Hit that destination, party on the beach is different nights, different constellations. But when I look into your eyes, ain't no hesitation. Working hard with you, baby, by my side. Got 24 hours in the dark, so we'll won't be like sipping by the sands, catching waves in the bed.
And as sure as the sun rises in the east and sinks in the west, our last day at Sandals Grenada had finally arrived. And that meant one thing to start with: packing. However, Fiona and I had left packing to the last minute because we had sun worshipping to do first thing in the morning, followed by our last lunch at Neptune's with Donna and Michael, and of course another new friend that Fiona had picked up during her stay. Our 7 days and 7 nights at Sandals Grenada in October 2018 had been fantastic, and we leave behind us memories that we will remember for a long time to come, including these 3 official Sandals photographs. And this is where we leave Sandals Grenada 2018 The Revisit. If you'd like to follow our journey back to Glasgow, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tune in to the next video. Thanks for watching.
With us, so our team here put aside a goodbye song to sing for you.
Come back soon, wipe the tears from me.